Republic of South Africa, it has actually made it lawful for men who are married to women to actually opt to take the surname of that particular woman. This goes against the African culture, as well as also some sections of the South African constitution. According to the Constitutional Court, those sections have to be scrapped off. So if you are a woman in South Africa, you can now get married to a man, and a man can actually freely take your surname. So we'll see a lot of men who are taking the surnames of women in some days to come. This is against culture. This is against the sections of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. It will be interesting also to hear from the viewers of this channel what is their take on this one. Greetings and welcome on your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So the South Africa's Constitutional Court has struck down sections of the Births and Deaths Registration Act that blocked men from taking their wives' surname, declaring the provisions unconstitutional and discriminatory. The case reached the Constitutional Court after the Free State High Court ruled in September 2024 that Section 26(1)(a) to C of the Act violated the Constitution by discriminating on the basis of gender. The Constitutional Court has now confirmed that saying the sections breached the right to equality under Section 9(1) of the Constitution. Under the current law, a married woman may automatically assume her husband's surname, but a man wishing to take his wife's surname must apply to the Director General of Home Affairs, a process that offers no guarantees of success. Couples who challenged the law told the courts they faced systematic failures and bureaucratic indifferences when attempting to make such changes. In one case, applicant, that is Jana Jordan, wished for her husband, Henry Van de Meeuwen, to assume her surname as a way to honor her late parents. The couple were told Home Affairs systems could not process the request. In other cases, that is Jess Donnelly was allowed to double barrel her name to Donnelly Bondman after marriage, but her husband, Andreas Bondman, was denied the same option. The court said that the offending section violates the principle of rationality on the grounds of gender, and it unfairly discriminates by failing to afford a woman the right to have a spouse assume her surname, and to afford a man the right to assume the surname of the woman after marriage. It also fails to allow for a married or divorced man or widower to resume a surname which he bore at any time, and fails to allow a man, whether married or divorced or a widower, to add to the surname which he assumed after the marriage any surname which he bore at any prior time. The court suspended the order for 24 months to give Parliament time to amend the law. In the meantime, the provisions will not apply in circumstances where a person assumes or resumes a spouse's surname after marriage or adds a prior surname. If Parliament fails to act within 2 years, the court's order will remain in force until the legislation is corrected. Rights advocates have hailed the ruling as a landmark victory for gender equality, saying it dismantled outdated laws that treated women's identity as secondary to men. So that is what is happening in our neighboring country. Now I wonder what then happens to the issue of lobola. So does it mean in South Africa a woman can now pay for a man's lobola, because normally, I mean, according to our culture, I pay a lobola to my wife, and my wife assumes my surname, as well as also my children. Now, if you can see the cases that were actually cited, of people who are against this, mostly it's white people. So this is going to definitely clash with other cultures in South Africa. We know that South Africa is a multicultural society. I wonder how they will actually handle this. It is interesting. It's an interesting development, and also it will be interesting to hear from my South African brothers and sisters. What's your take on this development? It's actually interesting. I want to know what is your take on this development, that the Constitutional Court. In fact, it is the order is suspended for 2 years, giving the Parliament, as I have read, to actually come up with a law that is aligned with this particular order. And if the parliamentarians fails within the next 2 years, then that order stands until a law is enacted backing up this particular order. What is your take? Now, a woman in South Africa can actually assume the role of a man, and the man can actually take the surname of a woman, according to the Constitutional Court order that was issued today. Let's hear your take. Isn't this in contradiction with some sections of society's culture? Will some not see this as actually an attempt to denigrate or undermine their culture, especially Africans, taking into consideration that this judgment was issued after mostly white people actually questioned the current existing laws according to the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. Let me love and leave you. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please don't forget to subscribe. Quite an interesting discussion. I'll be waiting for your comments on that particular matter. And also, you can financially support this channel by pressing the join button or subscribe plus button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send our stars. Let me love and leave you. Let's meet on the other side of the live broadcast.